when I punish you real bad, you're gonna remember it.
Got it.
And most dudes that Tank knocked out, what happened? I want a rematch.
Right.
I could have won that fight. But when you get punished, you don't say nothing.
When you see this fight, do you see like Tank just having his way with Jake? Like giving like no?
No, I'm gonna tell you this is what I tell Tank. And Tank said it in the interview. I said, Tank, y'all going there doing y'all thing, woo. And I said, he ain't giving you nothing.
Tank Davis is a phenomenal puncher and an accurate one at that. But dude, this is a monster. Even Tank, when I asked him how far his power carried, he told me light heavyweight. That's 175.
During the heated press conference, Gervonta's coach, Calvin Ford, and Jake Paul got into a tense argument. Ford snapped at Jake, calling him a clown, and challenged him to use smaller 10-ounce gloves instead of 12-ounce. He questioned Jake's confidence, asking why he needed extra padding if he truly believed in his power. The fiery exchange turned the atmosphere intense and left the audience buzzing.
This is a very serious fight, and I'm a very serious person. My question to you is, where did 12-ounce gloves come from? Why y'all couldn't take 10 and he had 8? Already he giving up 4 ounces of the gloves. I gotta say this because y'all betting all this money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait. You guys were the ones that wanted 12-ounce gloves, not me. I'll do 8. Fuck, I'll do 4. I'll do 2 ounces. I'll do bare knuckle. Like,
I wasn't aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that he can handle himself.
So what do you want? 10 ounce? 8 ounce? What do we want?
If he the one said that, I'm gonna go with that. I wasn't aware of that.
No, the 12 ounce came from your guys' side.
No,
and I did. On God. Perfect. Then what do you want? 10?
No, I didn't say that.
Following the fiery press conference, Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's longtime trainer, opened up about his confidence in the matchup against Jake Paul. He explained that despite Jake's size advantage, this fight is more than possible for Gervonta. Ford has watched Tank grow and fight his entire life, and he believes no physical difference can intimidate a fighter with Davis's skill and mindset. According to Ford, this will be Jake's first true test, his opening fight against a world-class pound-for-pound fighter. Jake might have boxed athletes and retired professionals before, but facing someone like Tank Davis is a different level of danger altogether. Calvin doesn't see any real concern in the weight difference because he knows the mentality and precision Gervonta brings into the ring. To him, it's not about how big the opponent is, it's about how well you can handle the moment. And Tank, he insists, was born for it.
Ups in life. That's what I call it, hiccups, but they lessons to learn from. But we back on track and we're keeping it moving.
When you heard about the fight, were you like, wait, what? Like, we're doing what?
Actually, when I heard about the fight, they called me and said, what you thought about the fight? I said, the fight doable. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched Tank for years and I watched other young men in gyms, you know, deal with big guys. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's big. To me, it's like Jake having his first open fights. If anybody know about the amateurs going open, then you go pro. So, you know, he's a great fighter guy that does have skills. You know what I'm saying? My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s. So he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers.
A little bit different. It's not different in the sense of a boxer in his prime or relative prime straying off the path, but this one is not. It's not like someone else, in a similar weight. It's like completely the opposite, and so that makes it, I think, look and feel weird. And then on top of it, obviously, Gervonta's got other business to handle. He looked to me, Gervonta, absolutely, completely disinterested. Even at the beginning of this year, and dude, even at the pre-fight Lamont Roach stuff, Tank was talking about how much time he has left in boxing, and he was clearly wasn't much. The Lamont Roach fight, it blew up in his face, but Lamont Roach was cherry picked. I think Tank thought, I'll just fight another guy from, the Mid-Atlantic area who's, remember Roach came up from 30 to 35 to fight him. And Tank thought he was just going to cruise, and then it blew up in his face, and you're left with that. So like, you're making a point about like, oh, he's got this obligation. That's true, but he was already fucking around. He was already taking opponents that, again, I think Roach showed everyone that was a mistake, but put yourself in Tank's mind. Tank was taking a fight against someone he was clearly, in his mind anyway, better than, and was just going to cruise. So he was already in that state. Then you marry that with statements like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this, and blah, blah, blah. And, I'm worried about going to therapy because it'll take away my competitive edge. And, kind of teetering on the edge a little bit about like whether or not this is a thing he wants to do. Then he, there's a draw in that fight. And then he takes this Jake Paul fight, which I'm sure is going to be for dumb money. I get it.
Most boxing experts, however, remain convinced that Jake Paul will face a brutal awakening once he steps into the ring with Gervonta Davis. They emphasize the gap in skill, experience, and ring intelligence between the two. Tank has spent years fighting elite opponents, boxers who understand spacing, footwork, and timing, while Jake is still learning to refine his craft.